up on a very special playoff edition of the Saturday Scouting Report. Norco is on a roll. The Cougars run past Great Oak. Heritage picks up a big win against Arlington. Riverside Poly down Summit for its first playoff win since '07. The Rancho Verde stings the Colton Yellow Jackets. Moreno Valley gets defensive to get Carter. Norte Vista strikes gold against Silverado. And Rim of the World wins a wild overtime game at Linfield Christian. All that and much more coming up on the Saturday show. Brought to you by Hardy Homes and Estates. When you list with Hardy, start packing. Check out the website, askhardy.com. Don't be camera shy. We're going to make you a star right here on the HS Game Time Saturday Scouting Report. Johnny Football, take it away.
This is Johnny Mayhew from Poly High School, and you're watching HS Game Time. Oh, yeah.
You gotta love Johnny Football. And thanks for watching HS Game Time. I'm Pep Fernandez. We've got video highlights coming your way from the Inland, Central, Eastern, and East Valley divisions. Let's start with a pair of inland area heavyweights, Norco battling Great Oak. We pick up the highlights in the second quarter. Great Oak quarterback Laquan Williams, 38 yards to Raekwon Yates. And the Wolfpack driving down the field. They cap off the drive with Nick Fisher reeling in this 2-yard touchdown, but the Pack down to Norco 36-13. Now in the third quarter, Norco's Corey Young having himself another big game, 42 yards on this carry. He did the work, and it's time to get paid. Corey Young cashes in with a 4-yard touchdown, and Norco pushes its lead to 43-13. Later in the third quarter, check out this play. Williams passing behind the line of scrimmage to Brandon Presley, who then passes to Yates for 34 yards on that play. And then it's Williams going 14 yards on the strike to Presley. The 2-point conversion is good, and Norco's lead is now 43-21. Great Oak trying the onside kick, and it works. So now it's Williams going downfield to try to cut in that Norco lead, but there's Brandon Mills flying in for the Norco interception. Now we go to the fourth quarter. Williams still trying to lead his team to the finish to Andrew Molinar. That makes it 43-27. Norco still on top. Later in the fourth, Alec Burr. Get in there, 10 yards on that run. The Cougars push their lead to 49-27. And then it's Williams, picked off by Jared Emanuel, pick six, house call. Norco wins by a final score of 56-27. Now it's on to Santiago at Eisenhower. Scoreless first quarter, Santiago driving 4th and 6, and Barnett sacked by the Eagles. Tyshawn McCune still scoreless in the second quarter. Santiago finally scores on its third drive, an 8-yard run by Isaiah Manley, and the Sharks go up 7-zip. Now it's the Eagles driving. Quarterback Marquand Harris rolls out, hits Terry Clarendon for a 28-yard gain, and that gets Ike down to the Santiago 4. 2 plays later, Harris scores on the 1-yard QB sneak, ties the game at 7. But still time for Santiago to strike back. Quarterback Blake Barnett finds Brad Duran, 15 yards on the TD hookup. Now we move to the third quarter. Barnett finding Jordan Huffman as Santiago goes on to win 35-14. Defending inland champ mighty Centennial opening the playoffs against Etiwanda. First quarter, I got my beats by Trey Watson from 4 yards out, 7-zip Centennial. Still in the opening frame. Etiwanda QB Darren Ratliff looking downfield. The pass is tipped and right into the hands of Centennial's Manu Namura, and he's got the interception. First play from scrimmage following the INT, it's ya boy Webb. Robert Weber, 20 yards to Barry Ware, and Centennial goes up 14-zip. Still in the first quarter, it's ya boy Webb, 20 yards to Grayson Bankhead right there, great catch. And then it's Weber, 9 yards to Bankhead for the touchdown. Centennial cruises in this one, 56-23. Next up, Chino Hills at Chaparral. The Pumas at home for this one. Daniel Martinez scoring for Chino Hills here, and Chino Hills built an early lead on Chaparral, but they would battle back. They were down 28-7 when quarterback Austin Reza hits Franklin Shearer for the touchdown. That made it 28-14. Chaparral was down at the half, but the Pumas stormed back big time in the second half, and they pounce on Chino Hills for a 31-28 victory. So here's the second round, aka the quarterfinals. Vista, Moreno, and Norco advance, and they could meet in the semis, but they need to win on Friday. Santiago gets Upland, and likely the game of the week, Centennial colliding with Chaparral. Now it's on to the Central Division. The Rancho, Verde, and Kaiser both earned first-round playoff wins. Those are the two teams that met last year for the CIF title. The Mustangs opening the playoffs against the Colton Yellow Jackets. The visiting Jackets strike first, and they take the 3-zip lead on that field goal right there. But pretty much all Mustangs after that. The Green-Eyed Dragon, Keyshawn Slaughter, returns this kick for a touchdown, 7-3, the Rancho Verde. Colton head coach Chris Mailo and quarterback Gil Martinez trying to work things out and get their team back in this game. The Mustangs with some serious playmakers on both sides of the ball. Welcome to Hemphill Island. Quentin Hemphill with the pick. Sit back and watch the return off the INT. House call, pick 6 for Hemphill, 14-3, Mustangs on top. Following that field goal to open the game, Colton had trouble with that Mustang defense. Now it's back to the Rancho Verde on the attack. Quarterback Sharon Jones picking apart the defense, driving his team down the field. Jones leading his team out of the wilderness. On 4th down, tosses the TD strike. The Rancho Verde wins 52-3. Arlington traveling to Heritage. This one was tied 7-7 at the half. Third quarter, if that's Lima High Hefo, then I'm Uncle Pep. Hefo with the power running game muscling his way to a first down for Heritage. Later on that drive, it's Sione Tahquitz. Now that's what I'm talking about. 30 yards to the paint. H-Town takes the lead 14-7. Now it's the Lions with the ball going downfield, but there's the model. Matthew Palmer, the pick, and he improvises with the lateral to Hefo. Just like Coach Broach drew it up. Or not. Palmer with 3 interceptions in the game. Monster game. Now we move to the 4th quarter. Patriots on the move. It's Virgil 2.0. Brett Virgil going in for the touchdown. 21-7 Heritage on top. The Patriots going back to the ground game, and Hefo running some time off the scoreboard. Another big run here. And here comes one of the 3 picks by Palmer, and this will seal the deal. Heritage is moving on with a 21-7 win. Summit taking on Riverside Poly. Miami Marlins outfielder Jake Marisnick. There he is at the game, former Poly guy. We'll see him on the Monday morning pep rally. The Bears going to work on their opening drive. Quarterback Chandler Drakeslin to Akili Ross like a boss. 78 yards for the touchdown. 7-zip Poly on top. On the ensuing kickoff, Summit back to field it, but the Bears come flying in. Fumble on the play, and Cody Smith is there to recover for Riverside Poly. So the Bears take over. Devontre Hill. House call, 13-zip, Bears on top of the Skyhawks. Now it's Summit with the ball trying to get something going on offense, but here comes Evan Tilliard coming up with the INT for Riverside Poly. The Bears defense playing very well in the early stages of this game. More from Poly's defense. Ben Tualega. He's got the sack, and the Bears defense not done yet. Oh no, how about some more Riverside Poly defense? Quentin Johnson staying with this pass, tips it, and he's got the interception for Riverside Poly, and Poly would turn that into points. David Samuelu going in for the touchdown as Poly rolls past Summit 57-26. Now it's Paloma Valley taking on Chino. Brent Bohm, the quarterback, showing he can do it with his legs as well. Scampers into the paint for the score. And then later it's DeMarco Pruitt. You can do it! Pruitt finds the end zone for another Paloma Valley touchdown. R.J. Benz had a big game. Bohm to Benz for the touchdown right there. And the Bebo to Benz connection strikes again as Paloma Valley put up 35 points in the first half against Chino. Just before the break, Bebo scrambling, buys time, and finds Michael Valencia wide open for the touchdown. Paloma Valley wins 49-14. So here's the matchups on Friday. The Rancho Verde gets Elsinore, who destroyed Palm Desert. Kaiser meets Paloma Valley. Great game there. Poly will host Colony, and Heritage hits the road for La Quinta. We had the Moreno Valley Vikings on the blitz last week, and the Vikes then went on to punch their ticket to the second round of the playoffs. Coincidence? Well, it's always good to be on the blitz, that's all I'm saying. This was a scoreless game at the half. Moreno Valley finally breaks up the 0-0 tie with a third quarter field goal. But the Lions would respond, giving the ball to Tomas Stewart. Carter would drive down the field and cap it off with this Ben Fitzpatrick touchdown. They led 8-3 after the two-point conversion. Carter's defense now trying to keep it that way and prevent the Vikings from regaining the lead. Trevon Lee the sack for the Lions. But here is a big momentum change in this game. Carter back to receive the punt, but the Lions fumble and Moval recovers deep in Carter territory. Later in the fourth quarter, the Vikes capitalize. Quarterback Justice Tyler hits Ronald Gaither for the touchdown. They tack on the 2, and it's 11-8, Moreno Valley leading. Carter, though, still within striking range when the Vikings' Bernard Pula picks off this pass. It's Pula time. 18-8, Moval on top. The Lions fighting to the very finish, but here's another interception. This one by Gaither, who makes the house call. The Vikings defense steps up big time in a 24-8 win for head coach Ted Watkins.
Well, obviously, the little touchdown to Ronald Gaithers on the little slant that he caught that put us ahead was huge, and then that kind of made them have to throw the ball at the end of the game there, and that's not what they do well. And so we had those 2 picks for touchdowns that changed the game.
Now it's Ramona at Citrus Hill, the defending champion Hawks. P.J. Walker with the catch and run, breaking some tackles for Citrus Hill, and then it's Walker with the TD on the ground. The future San Diego State Aztec having a big game. But Ramona would answer. How about Chris Kilgore ripping off this nice long run? And then later on that ensuing drive, it's Mays to Lorenzo Cabrera for the touchdown. I discovered that guy. So we're all tied at 7 apiece. Citrus Hill going back to Walker, who's running the hurdles here. Walker with some serious bounce. He did the work. Time to get paid. Walker goes in for another Citrus Hill touchdown. They take the lead 14-7. Walker running wild on Ramona. He had another big game on the ground as he has all season long. He's leading the ground attack. This drive ends with a Walker touchdown. So the Hawks take a 21-7 lead. Now it's Ramona punting, and check out the Hawks' Tyler Whitson with the big return, doing some work down the sideline and getting some help all the way down to the Ramona 32-yard line. That would set up this. Quarterback Brett Hollingsworth to DeJuan Dantzler, who goes in for the touchdown. 28-7, Citrus Hill in the lead. Now it's Ramona with the ball, but the Hawks flying around on defense as well. Philip Rivera coming up with the pick for Citrus Hill, and they would turn that into points. Guess who? Yep, P.J. Walker in for another touchdown. Citrus Hill wins 61-7. Ken Batdorf and the Braves playing Silverado. Novi having to forfeit their River Valley League title for using an ineligible player, but they're still alive in the playoffs. First half, Novi with a 7-zip lead when it's Freddie Hawley breaking off a big run here for Norte Vista. And the other half of that Thunder and Lightning duo, Andrew Martinez. Another strong run for Norte Vista. They drive down the field and set up this. Edgar Magdaleno, the field goal, and the Braves take a 10-zip lead on Silverado. Well, the Silverado team would strike back on the ensuing kickoff. Quincell Neil Riles, 96 yards back the other way to get the Hawks on the scoreboard, and that made it 10-7. Novi still on top. Now, the Braves were back on the attack in the second quarter, but this pass is picked off by Silverado, and the Hawks would get 3 points after the turnover with a field goal. So the game was tied 10-10 at the half. But just like clockwork, and head coach Ken Batdorf called it, when I'm around, they don't play well, I leave, and the Braves are great. Novi turns it on in the second half after I leave, 38-16. I've really got to stay away from Novi. Sorry, guys, I'm bad luck for the Braves, but you guys win, and that's the good news. Tahquitz at home for the Burroughs. Burroughs, the former home of Santiago's Jeff Steinberg. The Titans defense bringing it. It's just been brought. Brandon Asparis corrals the Burroughs quarterback for the sack. Now it's 3rd and long for the Tahquitz defense. When in doubt, air it out. Quarterback Nolan Valdez to Devion Fields Pickett. 80 yards for the touchdown. Plus the 2, and the Titans lead 8-0. On the next Tahquitz drive, Valdez to Michael the Animal Stewart for a Titans touchdown. 15-zip. Tahquitz races out to an early lead. And if you like that, rewind it back. Valdez to Stewart. You can't stop it! Stewart hauls in another score. Now we move to the third quarter. Running back Derek Peters gets loose for this 24-yard touchdown run. He finished with 121 yards on the ground. Tahquitz goes on to win 35-14. So here are the updated brackets in a huge matchup between Tahquitz and San Gorgonio in round 2. Norte Vista will be at Oak Hills, Citrus Hill travels to Apple Valley, and Moreno Valley will host Serrano. Arguably the best game from the first round of the CIF Southern Section playoffs came in the East Valley Division as defending champion Rim of the World went to overtime at Linfield Christian. An incredible first round game between the Scots and the Lions. You might want to sit down for this one. Jamie Taylor leading the way for Rim of the World goes in for the touchdown right there. Linfield Christian getting after it though on the defensive side. Division I stud Dallas House with the big hit and the sack. Now it's the Lions on offense. Quarterback Derek Rack hooks up with Alex Larson for the Linfield Christian touchdown. Back and forth we go. Time for another tailor-made touchdown. He has done it all season long for the Scots. Now tied at 14, Rim of the World's Blake Decker gets the call, powers his way to the paint to give the Scots the lead. Tied at 22, the Scots going with Keiko Barrios this time, and he goes in for the score. Neither team could really pull away in this one. Now it's Rack flinging another TD pass, and we head to overtime tied at 30 in bonus coverage. It's Rack to Larson. Linfield Christian goes on top 37-30 following the point after. So now Rim gets the ball. Big shocker here. They give it to Taylor who scores. So the Scots deciding to go for the 2-point conversion and the win. Taylor finds the end zone and Rim of the World is moving on 38-37 in OT. So here are the matchups for round 2 in the East Valley Division. Top-seeded Jurupa Hills slips past Arrowhead Christian to meet Shadow Hills now. Santa Clara beat Banning to get Western Christian. Big Bear will battle Citrus Valley, and Rim of the World will face St. Margaret's. Well, that will do it for the Saturday show. We'll see you on Wednesday for a playoff edition of The Blitz. I'm Pep Fernandez, and thanks for taking the time to watch HS Game Time.